All right, everyone, here it is. Luigi's Mansion with HDlax 100% on the Wii. HDlax, how you doing today?
I'm good, I'm good.
By the way, thank you for waiting on this. We really wanted to fix the charity issue we were having before starting a run so we could get the glitch exhibition a chance. It stands at 3% right now. And anyone who wants to donate, we're raising $100, and HDlax will be doing a glitch exhibition at the end of his run if it is met. So we're ready to go whenever you are.
All right, I'll just give you a countdown. 3,
Perfect.
2, 1, go. All right, so we're going to be doing the 100% category. Basically, we have to collect 100 million in gold to get the best possible ending. We have to collect all portrait ghosts, optional ones included, and all 50 boos. On the couch here, I got Cullen Weeno and Rubber Ducky Assassin.
What's up, guys?
All right, so right off the bat here, we got a cutscene, and then we're going to get right into the action of sucking up these ghosts.
So, something that is just different about the game in general is that we actually do this on like a completed file. On a completed file of Luigi's Mansion, your vacuum actually sucks, I think it's like 20%, 30% more than it does on normal Mansion, so that you'll kill the ghosts faster. Also, on Japanese version, it doesn't do this, but on NTSC version, you'll take double damage. But doing onion runs on Hidden Mansion's a lot faster just because you're able to suck up ghosts a lot quicker. So that's what he's doing on this run here. And getting 100% is getting, is that 100,000?
100 million.
100 million, there we go. 100 million total money at the end of the run. So he's going to be trying to get as many bills and coins as possible, but he also doesn't want to go out of the way. That's another big factor of, obviously, 100% is trying to not go too out of your way to get the amount of money that you need. So he's not going to be going on crazy trying to get coins and bills. There's certain instances where sometimes you can get a gold bar and sometimes you won't. He'll open different chests or cabinets that may or may not have it in there. It's just RNG. And there's also pearls that we'll see a little bit later whenever you fight bosses. They'll drop pearls, and if you do the boss in one cycle, or at least until they're under 10% health, or 10 health in general, you'll get the big pearl, which is what we really need to get the 100 million. Right.
We're actually coming up on our first portrait ghost here. They differ a lot from the regular ghosts that we were just fighting. They each have their own unique personalities. They each have 100 health, and like RDA said, they drop pearls, which are very crucial to the 100% completion. So it's imperative that we one-cycle all of these portrait ghosts. Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we've had a couple of donations coming in. You guys weren't kidding when you were really waiting for this to be activated and working. So we have Victor Sullivan, who donated $2 and says, I like this one better. Also a $5 anonymous donation. We've had Electronic Logic donate $10 saying, thanks for inviting me to this event. We had a blast. Glad we got the donation thing working. Can't wait to watch the rest of the runs. It was a pleasure, Logic, and you're always welcome. Please do submit to our further events. We have Jared's Giants, who donated $3 and says, good luck on the run. Big dog, love ya. And we have Dark Falcon, who donated $1.69 and says, this game is my speedrun to watch whenever I can get a chance to see it on stream. And from what I can see, we've had donations towards the Pokemon Snap, Runner Sings Pokemon Songs, and also we have a new incentive, as I was saying. If the other incentive is met, we're going to have the runner sing the Pokemon song in French. And to that effect, we have DD Gaming's, our very own Dom, who donated $125. And he says, I want to hear a Finnish woman sing a Japanese song in French in an English marathon. Now that's multiculturalism.
Woo!
So we're coming up on like our last big boss of this area. So there's 4 areas in this game. There's area 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're in area 1, obviously, and Chauncey is like the big bad boss of area 1. So it's going to be a bit more of a different fight than we were seeing with the Portrait Ghosts. And there's actually going to be a little bit of strat here. Instead of just going straight for just trying to one-cycle Chauncey. Chauncey's actually pretty impossible to one-cycle. So the next best thing to do is if you get Chauncey under 50% health, it'll do a different kind of attack, and it'll take a little bit longer. So what he's going to do is he's going to make these seahorses or horsies, whatever, attack them as soon as they can so they can continue the cycle, and then stand at this very exact spot so that he can get this ball right as soon as it spawns, and then let go right before 50, so that that attack that he does when he gets under 50 doesn't happen, so he saves more time. And Chauncey's just going to do this little attack where he just runs around the crib. Don't really got anything to do here. And he's going to do the same thing and finish him up before within 2 cycles, basically.
Right, so I'm going to get hit on purpose by this rocking horse here. And then I'm going to knock on the front of his crib to store my invincibility frame so I can catch this ball. So if I didn't have those invincibility frames, then that ball would have hit me and I wouldn't have been able to catch it in my vacuum. So yeah, that's the end of area 1.
And bear with me, I haven't speedrun this game in like 4 years, so lots of new stuff has been found and optimizations have been made, especially in the 100% category. So bear with me. At the end of each area, there's going to be this little kind of cutscene thing where we're just talking to EGAD, putting in the Portrait Ghost, and counting up our money at the end of each area. We're just going to mash through it. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and with all that mashing that you do in this game, it definitely takes a toll on your hands, so it's a good time to just take a break for a minute.
And if there's donations there to be read, that can be read.
This would be a great time for donations. All right, so it's going to show us our money count there. We currently have 4.4 million, just about 96 million to go.
That seems pretty reasonable.
So when it comes to double doors, you're always going to see me go through the left door because Luigi pushes that door open rather than pulls it. If you go through the right door, he'll pull it open, and his pushing animation is a second faster than his pulling animation. All right, go ahead.
All right, so we have a $5 donation by Justin, and he says, "Good luck, high definition laxative."
Thank you.
So you're going to see a strat that he just did right there pretty often whenever we see those ghosts. Those ghosts just grab onto Luigi, and you're able to kind of just wiggle the joystick. And if you do it fast enough, they'll get off pretty quickly. And it helps set up for doubles and triples. And you saw it a little bit in area 1, but we're going to see it a lot as the game progresses. We're going to try and get as many doubles and triples and quads and as many ghosts in one cycle as you possibly can. It just makes collecting the ghosts a lot faster. And like we said earlier, there's some RNG factors in this run. Right here is going to be a Portrait Ghost that spawns after getting these Shy Guys. And it's just RNG, whether or not they show their heart sooner than later. So they can show it pretty early here in a few seconds, or it can just wait a little bit longer.
Nope.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely RNG. Can't do anything about it.
Nothing you can do about it. So we just have to take the 10-second time loss.
Yeah.
And I'm always going to prioritize this big pearl over any other pearl because it's worth 1 million. As the other pearls, the medium ones are worth 100,000 apiece, and the mini ones are worth 50,000 apiece.
And that right there is a Speedy Spirit. He's not going to go for all the Speedy Spirits in the game, obviously, because again, bills and coins don't add up to as much as like bars and diamonds and pearls and stuff like that. But there are some instances, like in this case, where it's faster to go for those Speedy Spirits because they can drop bars or whatever.
Yep.
And also, he went and did a little bit of a, I'm not sure if it's a glitch or what exactly it is, but there's
Just
a poster.
exploit.
Yeah, there's a poster on that button over on the wall that you're supposed to not be able to grab, obviously, until you press the button to move the wall backwards. But he was able to grab it by just kind of vacuuming the wall. He was able to grab it, so he didn't have to waste time.
Yeah, by getting my back against the wall and then having a straight angle when I move to the left, I'm able to just lock onto the poster. The hitbox on it is very large. So what we did is we just released all 50 boos throughout the mansion. So now we're tasked with collecting all of them. If this were just a standard any percent no out of bounds run, we would only have to collect 40, but with this being 100%, we have to get all 50.
And if you don't get all 50, not only did you not get all the boos, but there's also a gold diamond. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a gold diamond that you need both gold diamonds in order to get the 100 million, especially with how tight the money route is nowadays. So not only do you need it for 100%ing, but you also need it for the money. So.
Yep. One gold diamond is worth 20 million gold. Both of them are worth 40. So just both of those alone are about half the game's completion. So it's very crucial that we get both of them.
Yeah. And also, wherever these boos are, they're always going to be in a certain, like in a few different like furniture items or whatever in each room, but it's kind of random on where it is. So like sometimes it'll be on that very far right cabinet, but sometimes it'll be on the very far left. Sometimes it'll move while you're searching for it. It's a little trolly, but we get it.
So far, the RNG is not very good.
It's not.
You can actually use the mirrors in this game to teleport back to the foyer, kind of like a fast travel system implemented into the game, so you can get around the mansion quicker.
Very useful. And sneaky.
Definitely.
There's a few sneaky ones hidden.
Yep, so the reason you're seeing me backtrack right now is because we need 5 boos to proceed with the next part of the game. Right now, Toad has the first floor bathroom locked, and after we collect 5 boos, he'll unlock it, and we can go in there and get a key and proceed on with the next part of the game.
Jeez, this RNG. It's testing our patience here.
It is. The strat you're seeing me do to keep these boos in place, that's called R-pumping. That was found by Coopery back in 2013. So basically, by holding down your L trigger and tapping your R trigger every 10 HP, it'll cause your vacuum to move in an up and down motion, causing the boo to stay stun locked.
It made collecting boos a lot more consistent, a lot more easier too, because it kind of used to just be, you just kind of hope for the best. Like everyone had their own little charm and way to do it before that was found. But once that was found, it made collecting boos so much easier and consistent.
Sure. Okay, so just like the grabbers that we saw in the bathroom before, these ghosts are actually not in the foreground. We can only see them in the mirror. So just like before, I'm going to get grabbed by this guy and shake him off in the opposite direction so I can get a quick double there. And I'm going to do it one more time. about to go for a save work here. Ooh, it's close.
That was really close.
All right, so rather than just grabbing the medallion and then getting the boo, we get the boo, open the chest, and then grab the medallion. And we do that because it saves about 6 seconds, and we get to skip all the information that EGAD tells us about the medallion.
That is new to me. This is one of the few elements that we're going to see in the game.
Yep.
So, more to come for sure. There's also another RNG element that's in that room and a few other rooms called the Golden Mice, where if you suck it up or if you see the cheese at the bottom, you can spawn the Golden Mouse. But it is RNG for some stages, or some rooms, I believe.
Yeah, and that Butler's candles that I just lit, he's also on a cycle, but his cycle resets every time we quit out of the game and go back in. His cycle resets, so if we're quick enough, he'll always be on the right side of the hallway, so we don't have to go all the way down to just light his candle and then wait for him.
So yeah, we're just waiting for him to get into that. He has to go into the room that we're about to go into, and he also has to sit down and he has to get his hitbox to start. So we're doing other stuff on the way, so we don't lose time. Let's go right here. And he locked him in that corner, kind of, at least pulled him to that corner more because he wanted to get that Sapphire to spawn at the same time. We're going to see a lot of multitasking, trying to do things at the same time so we don't waste time having to do it all separately. All right. So what he just did there is a text box skip, because usually after you collect the boo, you get the text box and all that save screen from EGAD, but I believe it only works on Japanese version as well. On a TSC version, you can still go into the other room, but it'll still give you the text box, I'm pretty sure is how it works.
Yeah. Another one of the perks of running on JP, all this time saved just accumulates, and it's about 30 seconds faster in the 100% category over English. So if you have an optimal time, you definitely want to run on JP.
It's also safer because of the double damage doesn't get taken on Japanese version on Hidden Mansion.
All right, everyone, just wanted to remind you that we are still about $97 shy of having the glitch exhibition donation incentive met for HDlax's run. So you have under an hour basically to donate over $97 total, which will have HDlax perform some pretty cool tricks on stream for us. So donate generously. It all goes directly to the NMSS. And we also have the Amnesia Dark Descent glitch exhibition incentive as well. And also we have a Legend of Zelda 3-Heart Challenge. So this should be quite something. Also, Kill or Save the Animals is ahead. Kill is ahead by, let's see. Oh, Save is coming back. Kill is at $25, Save is at $21.69. And we have yet to have someone save Peach or Zelda during the Super Smash Bros. Brawl run. So that's it for incentives for now, but donate generously and make sure that at least the Luigi's Mansion incentive is met before the end of the run, because I really want to see that. Thank you.
Okay, so this portrait ghost can play one of two songs. She can either play the underwater theme from the original Super Mario Bros., or she can play the Super Mario Bros. 3 theme. And the underwater theme is the most optimal by about a second because it's the first option, but I got the Super Mario Bros. 3 theme, which just results in me having to scroll down one more option.
It's always one of the two, and it's always the first or third, so it's pretty easy to tell, even if you're on a Japanese version. And also for most rooms, you're either going to get a blue treasure chest, which has a key in it, the golden one, which has the big key in it that unlocks the next area, or it'll have like a green one, which is just a big money box, which is useful in this run. So.
And only the optional portrait ghosts have the green money chest, and we're actually coming up to our first one right now. So if we were just doing a no out of bounds run, we would not have to capture this guy, but it's 100%, so we have to. So basically, we just have to suck up all of his food, and then he'll get angry. And then he'll start shooting fireballs, but as it turns out, you can actually go and do other things while he's shooting his fireballs. And since it takes him a while to shoot them all before he shows his heart, we can actually go in here and get this water element before he's done.
Yeah, he basically just keeps throwing fireballs until he gets tired, and then when he gets tired, he's vulnerable. And also, you'll see him do with some ghosts. There's some ghosts that are element-based, so in order to start sucking them up, you have to hit them with a certain element. The one that was in the fridge needs to get hit with fire, and if you're spraying fire in their direction before their hitbox, I guess, spawns, it won't stun them in getting hit, but it'll make the element that they need to get unlocked, I guess, to go away so they can suck them up.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just got a pearl dupe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so what a pearl dupe is it is a duplication trick of one of the pearls. I just got it on the large pearl, so by walking into the large pearl and sucking it up on the same frame, it actually thinks that you collected 2 pearls, so we just got a free million just by doing that one frame trick, so that's awesome.
Easy peasy. Wish that's how it worked in like real life. That would be pretty useful.
Yep, so now we're up an extra million, which is nice.
You also saw him water that plant over there. He's going to come back and do that because that's where the other golden diamond is, and like we said earlier, we definitely need that. So. And we can't just sit there and water it all 3 times. I believe it's 3 times. You can't just sit there and water it all 3 times. You have to come back after each area is completed. I've never seen that.
Oh yeah, the stun lock.
We just got to get those 3 skeletons and then...
Ooh, I hope I don't soft lock here. Okay, we're good. Yeah, go ahead.
So we have a $20 donation by HackTech86. They say, hello again. Nice to see another event. Thanks for everything.
Hello. So this is Bogmire, boss of Area 2. He can be one of the more difficult bosses. The skill gap, I would say, from Chauncey to Bogmire is pretty big. Bogmire causes a lot of people a lot of issues. Basically, these like very translucent ghosts are going to show up, and we have to suck them up and then throw them at where Bogmire is. You can kind of tell where he is by the shadow on the ground. Once you shoot the ghost at Bogmire, you are able to start sucking him up. Getting the one cycle is a little tricky.
Unlike Chauncey, Bogmire can be one-cycled. The only 2 portrait ghosts that cannot be one-cycled in this game are Chauncey and King Boo, who is the final boss.
And that was really good. So.
Yep, so we're done with Area 2.
We're just gonna watch that same cutscene of just us putting the ghosts in the portraits and just count some money.
Yeah, we should be on track. Maybe a little bit overboard since I got that pearl dupe.
That was nice. Is that ruby like an optional ruby, or is that kind of more influenced into the route they got at the graveyard?
Yeah, that's always been in the route as far as I can tell.
Okay.
So every run I've seen, everybody gets that ruby.
Gotcha. There's a lot of like safety sapphires and rubies and emeralds.
Right, and I'm definitely going to be going for some of those in this run just to ensure that we get 100%.
Yeah, it's pretty crushing doing a 100% run and then not getting 100% because if so whenever you're doing runs of Luigi's Mansion 100%, the timer stops when you suck up King Boo. at the last boss. But you have to have 100 million. So if you're going through the money and you don't have 100 million, you have like 99 million, your run is invalid no matter what. So it's a little rough.
All right, so we have 21.3 million. We're actually over by 2 million. So we're doing really good as far as money pace. And I'm actually going to go back and get the plant later. Because at the end of Area 3, before we go up the Safari Room, we usually have to take a detour and get the ice element, which you get out of the T Room, which is a room that we haven't been to yet. But yeah, I'll just explain it later.
Yeah.
It'll make more sense then.
Him using the water element right there makes it so he doesn't have to watch the animation of him walking down the ladder. It's a nice little time save. We'll see that a few more times in the run. Poor Mario.
Yeah, poor Mario got turned into a painting.
It's tragic, really.
Yeah.
First he's put in jail, and now he's in a portrait. Like, what's next?
That was interesting.
Hitboxes can be a little wonky in this game sometimes. Sadly, he can't upwarp, so he does have to walk back up the ladder.
Yep. So this is Mario's letter that I'm collecting here. We have to collect 5 of Mario's items and then take them to the fortune teller back in Area 2. If you remember in the laundry room, I got Mario's hat, so we already have 2 of the Mario items out of 5.
Also, they're called Speedy Spirits because you're supposed to not get them so quickly, and they just run around the room super fast, and it's kind of hard to get them if you let that happen. So that's what the name comes from.
And this is another optional portrait ghost. This is Biff Atlas. We just have to punch him 3 times with these punching bags, and then he'll get exhausted and then show his heart. I believe if you get hit by him, he deals 20 damage on JP and 40 on English.
Look at how swole he is. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
I'm shocked it's not all 100.
Yeah, right?
The screw RNG.
And as you can also tell, the HP of the boos are starting to differentiate. Like when they used to be like 40 and 30, now they're starting to get a little higher, like 60, 100.
Right.
And they'll get up to about 300. There's a few that are up to 300, so. Getting to one cycle, those boos are going to get a little trickier. But what he did right there was he shot the water element at a specific angle, and if you hold down the, I think it's L or R button, to shoot the element, it actually shoots a big glob of the water, and it clips through the bottom, or I guess the ceiling, and where the bottom of the door is, and it hits the door, so the water hit the door and made the fire go away. Because you're supposed to go up there and then douse the door with water, but you just clip the ceiling.
So this is the 3rd and final element, ice. And this element actually has some use, unlike the other 2. This element can actually freeze the boos in place for a little while. So let's say you need to freeze a boo and open up a chest to spawn a key. You can do that for a little while, and the boo won't move.
But they don't like to be frozen. They don't like it.
Don't like it.
They lay usually if you freeze a boo and they have especially like a lot more health, they'll start double cackling. You can kind of tell when a boo is going to start trying to escape more, depending on how many cackles it does. And whenever you freeze a boo, it likes to cackle a lot more.
Yeah, boo has 15 cackles before it'll become unstun lock and leave the room. So it's imperative that you don't double cackle on these higher HP boos, because odds are they will leave.
That portrait ghost can be a little tricky. If you don't get all hits of that, of the yarn balls, you have to like redo the room.
Yep, so that's an example of me freezing the boo and then opening that chest to spawn the key.
He also, it's less of like a spam of just LR. It's more of a, like they do it like a time. They kind of use some people use like a visual cue of every 10. So if it goes like from 50 to 40 to 30, they'll do it every 10, just so that they make sure it doesn't double cackle, I believe.
Just gonna leave those pearls behind.
Yeah, who needs them? You got the big pearl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if I've explained flashlight skips yet, but you may have noticed me spraying my element every time I leave from a lit room to a dark room. That's because if you press it at the right time, it skips the animation of Luigi pulling out his flashlight, and he gets a little boost from it as well. It saves about a second each time, and it just adds up over the course of the run.
Yeah, it's pretty dark in this mansion, so doing it consistently every time, it adds up for sure. Had to light all those candles just to start this fight. And
Yep.
It's a pretty basic fight, just trying to get those doubles and triples.
Let's see, he's here somewhere.
Easy money. You can do a quick donation here for a second. We're just going to take a look at the moon really quick.
Okay, so we have to shoot the moon. So these comets are going to fall down to the side of us. There we go.
And having like the depth perception for that shot is like really tricky. It looks really easy because he's done this for a very long time, but that shot can be very annoying, very tricky if you just can't get the right angle. It's very weird.
Yeah, if it makes sense that you'll hit it, odds are you won't hit it. It's
Yeah.
just so weird. I still miss it quite frequently.
Oh yeah. Shine get.
Yep, so that's the third Mario item, the star. We have 2 more left. We're actually fixing to get both of them within like the span of like 5 minutes.
It didn't really spread them out that far. So now we're doing that backtrack where we had, this room was locked earlier, and now it's not locked, so now we gotta go into it.
Yep.
Ooze.
So this is just like the mirror room. These grabbers are going to spawn, but we can't see them in the foreground. We can only see their shadows in the projector. But after doing this for a while, you know where they spawn every time.
And also, a little just fun tidbit is the more money you have, the bigger the hearts get. So like you can kind of tell the hearts over there are a little bit bigger than they were at the beginning of the game. That's because he has a lot more money. So depending on how much money you have, the bigger the hearts are and the more they heal you. So.
Okay, there we go. That wasn't that bad. I missed that triple.
Those are definitely trickier triples. For me.
All right, so that's the 4th Mario item, his glove.
It's a little sweaty.
Yep, just a little bit. Okay, so we're on the 3rd optional portrait ghost. This guy's probably the most annoying portrait ghost in the game. So he's gonna shoot these pool balls, and then we have to suck them up and hit them. but after a while they despawn, and then you have to wait for him to circle the whole table again. Wastes about 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's a real pain if you don't get him.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Hit the corner of the table. Yep, so now we gotta wait for him. Very time consuming. So while I do that, I'm just gonna get some extra money.
Nothing wrong with extra money.
Yep.
Another thing, it's not that big of a deal in 100% because we get the pearls anyway. But if, for whatever reason, he were to not get pearls...
Ooh, got another dude.
Really? Is that like frame perfect?
Yeah, it is.
Jeez.
I guess it's a lot easier on a CRT. I usually play on monitors.
Yeah. But let's just say that he didn't get pearls in Petunia, which is the ghost in the bathroom, but then went and did the nanny. There would only be like 1 or 2 pearls that would spawn from the nanny because it already had pearls spawned in the game.
Right.
So it's not that big of a deal in 100% because we collect the pearls anyway. But like doing it in 100%, you do notice it.
Yeah, so only 1 set of pearls can be on the map at a time.
Yeah.
So now we're going to do more backtracking back to Area 1. We're going to get these boos. The reason we're getting these guys now is because we finally have the key to the twins room, which is also on this hallway. So it's just more convenient to get these boos when we come and get the twins.
You gotta spin these helicopters in a circle. It's a little trolly.
Now they're going to want to play a game of hide and seek, so we have to accept the challenge, leave the room, and go back in.
And if you don't accept, there's like, well, do it anyway.
Yep. So we got to go back in, and they're hiding in these boxes. I know for sure a lot of people who played this when they were younger had a lot of trouble with this because they would just randomly guess. But a cheat to doing this is you can actually use your element or your vacuum on the boxes, and if the box shakes, then they're inside of it.
Yep. And only one of these, so there's 2 of them, obviously.
Ooh, not getting that speedy spirit.
But there's only one of the twins that matter in terms of getting the pearls. So this blue one doesn't drop any pearls, but the red one will drop pearls. So that's really the one that you have to worry about.
Yeah, and you'll notice that one of them's on a plane and the other's on a car. These guys' names are Henry and Orville, a reference to Henry Ford and Orville Wright.
History lesson. Live at DreamHack Atlanta. Who needs school, right?
Yeah, just learn all your education through speedrunning.
Exactly.
All right, so that's the last Mario item. So we're just going to finish getting these last 2 boos on this hallway, and then we're going to take these Mario items to the fortune teller. Ooh.
Okay.
So that's a poisonous mushroom. You want to avoid that at all costs. If you get hit by that, Luigi will turn completely mini and you can't do anything for about 10 seconds. So it's just an annoying time loss.
Yeah. And it's also minuscule, but you do lose some coins as well.
Right.
But not being able to do anything like open doors or anything is also a lot more of an issue.
Okay, so what I just did there is a tech skip. When you capture a boo and then suck off a cloth, that overrides the boo catching animation, and then EGAD will not talk to you, so it just skips that text altogether.
He has to shine the light on the crystal ball so that Clairvoyant appears. He's going to talk with a lot of matching, so.
Yep, we're giving her all 5 items at once, so this is just about 1:30 of straight mashing, nothing more.
So if you guys have any donations you want to read out, this is a really good time to do so.
All right, we have a $20 donation from Gadget Girl. I wanted to donate this morning during my favorite runner, Twineman's run, but even so, the animals still need to be saved, so I guess I'll do it now. We have a $2 anonymous donation, and then we have a $15 donation from Twanman. It's been an awesome event with awesome run so far. Thanks for bringing No Reset to Atlanta, and I can't wait to see the rest of the runs this weekend.
All right. No, I can't personally read Japanese, but how many items are we in so far?
We're on the 4th.
All right.
One more.
Flipboy is a pretty nice ghost, in my opinion. Probably one of the nicest.
She willingly lets Luigi suck her up, unlike the others who tend to put up a fight.
Very nice of her. All right. Oh, whoa. All right, so yeah, that was actually pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that.
And you'll notice that the length of EGAD's text is changing. So after you collect 15 boos, the text EGAD gives you can range from 1 second to about 7 seconds. And also, got to get the pearl, the plant, excuse me. Oh, that boo just moved. So used to, we would get the plant at the beginning of Area 3, but it's actually about 7 seconds faster to get it after you finish Clairvoya, because you can actually get ice from the refrigerator, so you don't need to take a detour into the tea room to get ice.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close to the Area 3 boss, which is a very trolly boss indeed. Probably the boss that most people would have trouble with, even in terms of speedrunning.
Yep. Go ahead.
So we have a $100 donation from Skip Wendy. Great run for a great cause. Keep it up, HD.
Thank you.
And with that, the incentive for the glitch exhibition for Luigi's Mansion has been met.
Yeah! Hope you guys are ready for some really freaky looking glitches. So you'll notice that there's a few ghosts, more specifically these green ghosts that are about to spawn here. He's actually able to push them into other ghosts for some reason. They just have a hitbox where you're able to just push them while they're just standing there. So we use that like in the first few rooms of the run, but we use that more to get more doubles that we can.
Yeah, and you'll notice with those elemental ghosts that have their barriers, if you shoot the opposite element on them as they're spawning, then that element will just disappear entirely and they won't go through the animation of them taking damage from the element. So it saves a little bit of time. Changing into sidestep controls.
So you might be noticing that we're already about to enter Area 4, and we're only at 24 boos out of the 50 that we need. But Boolossus is made up of a whole bunch of boos. So after we beat Boolossus, we're going to end up with, I think, 36? Is that the number?
39.
39 boos out of 50. So we're going to go from 24 to 39 after this boss fight, which is obviously really helpful for that boo collection.
Yeah, so we're hoping we get a 1 cycle here. So I'm just going to line myself up, hope that the angle is good. Nice.
That was really good. That setup is it's pretty precise. So you need to get him to basically pop the big boo on one of the unicorn horns, and then just suck up all the small boos. But they are only out for like a very limited time. So he walked on the other side to get them all bundled up, and then shot a big ice ball so that the ice ball would basically just hit as many as he possibly can get. And once you have one small boo left, it won't go into another big one. So as long as you can get at least one remaining, then you should be fine. I'm getting one cycle.
Yeah, so I imagine we're still up on our money. The only gem that I skipped was the Clairvoyant gem, which is just 500,000.
And we did get another dupe. So.
Right. And then I also 2-cycled bank shot, so I got extra money from that.
Sure.
While I waited.
I'd imagine doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely on pace. We'll see how much I'm up by in a minute.
It's obviously showing all these portrait ghosts, and the more you get in each area, the more it's going to have to show us, so it goes a little bit longer in these later areas.
43.5, okay, about 1.5 million.
Nice.
So now we're gonna water the plant for the last time.
Get that big shiny golden diamond.
Yep, like I said before, each gold diamond is worth 20 million gold. Just one of them alone is a fifth of the game's completion towards 100%. Both of them is almost half. And the other one we get from getting 50 boos.
It's a very famous marathon run of this game, the three-way 100% race, where one of the runners forgot to get, I think both. I think he forgot to get both gold diamonds.
No, he got one of them. The other one he forgot about. And then I think he missed the altar gem as well.
Yeah, it was definitely a sight to see.
Uh-huh.
Kind of just going into the boss, just knowing that you weren't gonna get it.
He was like, what, 25 million short?
Yeah, he got like 75 million. So now we have to go all the way back up to where Blue Oasis was to start a cutscene that is going to continue Area 4. So yeah, we're just moving sidestep because whenever you're in a dark room and you have set the sidestep, we're just moving in sidestep. And it's going to be useful for this next section that we're about to get after the cutscene. Another big lightning bolt hit the mansion, so now there's a big power outage. And since it's all dark out, that's when all the ghosts like to come out and play. So there's just ghosts going to be everywhere. So right now he's going to be doing precise movement and also flashlight angling to make sure that ghosts don't spawn. Because whenever ghosts show up, it scares Luigi, and he does like a little jump animation, and it's just wastes time the more it happens. So he's going to use this warp to go back to the beginning, because this is going to be where one of the portrait ghosts are, and it's how we progress further on into the mansion.
Yep. So that's why I'm in sidestep, because if I have my flashlight on a ghost spawn point, then they can't spawn. That's also why I tend to have my flashlight pointed up to the ceiling in the hallways, so I don't get scared by the ghosts that can spawn from the ceilings.
He just went out of sidestep right there, just so they can do this fight. And this fight is just RNG. Whether when he shows his heart, he's just chilling until.
That wasn't that bad. It's probably like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So he's just like the Warlendas, the dancers that we got at the beginning of the game. All right, so now we have that key to the breaker room, and we're going to go turn the power back on.
Because it works, apparently. even though it got struck by
Yeah.
big old bolt of lightning.
Nintendo logic.
I mean, hey, at least it works. That's
Yeah.
a pretty good breaker. And he's gonna get a boo here, and this strat is absolutely incredible. Knowing the history of Luigi Mansion speedrunning, this used to be, I mean, it still probably is very difficult
Oh,
still.
yeah.
But this boo used to be like impossible to get one cycle, but he did a lot of practice with it getting here first cycle. So let's see if he can do it. No pressure or anything.
Yep. Still a difficult trick. So I'm probably about 30% certain that I'll one cycle this. Ooh.
All right.
Nice. With 2 double tackles. There we go.
That was really impressive. Really, really good. Especially, so now we're getting to these boos again with like over 150. All of them are going to be around that. So that's crazy. Is that 2? Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's 2 mushrooms. Just got Van Vortex. That's the longest of the EGAD texts. It's about 7 seconds.
Yeah. Vancouver is a boss that we'll get to here in a little bit, near the end of Area 4. And he just really likes to talk to us about him.
Yeah, he's the very last portrait ghost we fight in this game before the final boss.
Now we're going to go back up. There's a whole section of the top floor that we still haven't gotten to yet, so now we're going to go and tackle all that. There's a lot of rooms up in here, and there's a lot of stuff that can go down.
I'm actually going to get fire here.
Maybe a strat that includes the fire on the very top floor of the mansion.
Yeah, so Area 4, it's just a lot of walking.
Yeah,
Pretty much half of it.
You saw, you might have seen it just right while he was walking, but if you, there's some doors that are actually fake. Like if you try to open it, it'll just slam you into the wall and you'll lose coins and it'll just be a waste of time. Obviously, it's not a big deal because we know what the doors we need to go into. But if you spray with fire, it'll just burn the door and you won't have to worry about it. So, neat little hack. And similar to the twins, there's actually 3 of them now, but there's only one that matters in terms of getting the pearls. So he has to turn all those cuckoo clocks on, and then he's gonna get these soldiers.
Yep, so the blue one is the one that has the pearls. Oh no, I'm actually gonna let him go because I don't want to risk that.
Yeah. Getting those as a double is very difficult.
I'm consistent with the double, but I just don't want to risk it in this marathon setting.
Yeah. And you just gotta suck on the what is that? Can't think of the word. The wind up. You wind it up. You just gotta make it spin fast enough so it falls off.
Okay, so now we're gonna take this elevator to the roof. I guess I'll go for Boston Burn. Why not? We'll show it off.
Shout out to Boston Burn. Boston Brew, sorry. The man who made this strat. Very satisfying
Nice.
strat. So he has to go over all the way to the left here to get a key. So that's why he was kind of having them follow him over here, because they thought it would be smart to put it up here for some reason.
Yep. So similar to the well, I'm just going to shoot my element so I can just fall down the ladder rather than having to walk down it. Save some time. All right, so now we're going to get into these 300 HP boos.
It's a whole lot of fun.
So these boos actually have to be 2 cycled since they have 300 health because each boo is limited to 15 cackles. So it's just near impossible to drain off all 300 health. There is one boo that you can one cycle with 300 health because he moves so slow and you can just continuously manipulate him to each side of the room.
It's a pretty satisfying boo get, that one. We'll see him a little bit later, though.
All right,
He's done this.
solid 2 cycle. Okay, he just switched into that tablecloth. That's good. We'll get him on the way back.
So he has to hit some of these knights, or there's also some in chests. They're just, boos are in some of these little things that are in the room, and he has to just open all of them, knock on them to make the ghost spawn. You have to be a little bit careful with the knights because the weapon that they have can actually hurt you. And you can tell where the boos are, judging on like the light at the very bottom right-hand side of the screen. It'll flash red whenever he's either near a boo or a boo imposter, like the boo ball or whatever.
Solid 1 cycle.
That's good. That boo can be pretty trolly.
Yep, because this is the laggiest room in the entire game.
Yeah.
I believe this runs at like 10 to 15 frames a second just because there's so many suits of armor in that room. It just can't function properly.
We're just going to play a little catch him if he can game. He's going to show up in one of these 4 jars. It's kind of random, but it's pretty simple. You just do what HD's doing right now, and it's not that difficult. He starts speeding up the later the cycles go, but it's still pretty simple.
Yep, and you don't want to miss him either, because if you miss one of them, then he will kick you out and you have to restart the mini game. So that's just very time consuming. Nice.
All right.
So I'm going to try to manipulate this boo to go down instead of going right. Ooh, okay.
He almost got him 1 cycle.
I think Boston Brew is the only person to have ever one-cycled this boo.
Really?
I believe
Austin Brew is a legend.
he is. Okay, so this boo's in here.
There's also, as you've already seen by now, there's definitely ways to manipulate where any of the boos are going. That's something that he tries to do with most of the boos, that especially if you can't really one cycle or it's unlikely to.
Yeah, that boo didn't listen. I wanted him to go up, but he just zoomed past me and went left.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Still good 2 cycle.
All right, so we have all the boos in the attic. The attic is probably the most difficult part of the run, just
For
because.
sure.
Yeah.
It's super trolly. There's a neat little strat if you were to get like one of the boos like the last 2 that you need in this room. If you can suck them up and like hit that elevator, you can actually just like go up and I think skip the cutscene, right? Or the text box, right?
No, the text box appears once you get to the top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Right here is an instance of RNG, whether the golden mouse will spawn or not. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's not something
I won't
that
go
we're
for it anyways.
If you're running max percent though, oh,
Yeah.
there it is. Vark would be very happy about that.
You would.
Who likes 2 frames per second video games?
Yeah. That money really slowed down the frame rate.
Yeah. This room is really just like a whole bunch of money in here, but we don't need to get all of it. But there's like a whole bunch of treasure chests and like mugs that you can suck and you'll just get some money. Now we're going to start working on this bottom floor here. This is going to have the instance of the boot that has 300 HP, but we are able to one cycle it due to being able to manipulate him and him being so slow.
Yep. So we're hoping that he's in here. Nope, it's the decoy, but he is right here. So let's see if we can get this one cycle.
Yeah, he already moves really slow, and then like with the ice, he moves even slower. So.
All right, we got it.
There
Nice.
we go. Nice. So now apparently water makes it so we can't get the treasure chest, but now we can because water hurts.
Okay, so now we're coming up to perhaps the hardest portrait ghost in the game, Sir Weston. And the reason he's so difficult is because the floor is made of ice and we can easily get dragged around on the floor. So he can easily break off due to that.
Yeah, and these icicles that are at the top can easily just come down and hit you and knock and like make your trying to get him in one cycle, just mess it up. And he also has his own attack, and a lot can go wrong here.
That was actually really good. Wow.
Yeah, that was really good. Slides off screen. Classic.
Nope, he's up here.
Oh, man. Oh.
Not a chance.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
All right, so this probably, there's no way this is going to be a one cycle.
We'll get there.
At some point.
He is just going for it.
All right, so he's going to leave at like 30.
Oh, no. That's fine.
That's okay.
We're going to come back down here to finish the game. Oh, we're going to go.
Yeah, we're going to save warp from here, so might as well just
Okay.
get him now.
See, didn't know there was a save warp. So from down here, we have to go all the way back up. So I assume that's the reason for the save warp. So we don't have to go through all those doors and up the stairs. We're already starting at this mid-level. So.
Yeah, so we should be good on money. I have those 2 dupes. I have 1 cycle every portrait ghost so far.
Seems pretty good to me. It's got like 2 more, 1 more, or yeah, 2 more portrait ghosts.
Yep. And this one that we're coming up to is also a pretty difficult 1-to-1 cycle, but I find her to be easier than Sir Weston.
I'd say she's easier than Sir Weston.
Oh.
He's doing his own thing. So I never really got why this room is upside down, but it is, so. And we have to wake her up, and the only way to do that is by spraying her with water, so.
Okay, so we have to spray her 3 times, then she'll show her heart. Ooh, close.
Again, once you're under 10, again, it's safe. Even if you drop it under 10, you still get that big pearl. So many dupes.
Yeah, we should usually have 19 by the end of the game, but we're gonna have 21. I'll try to get a boo double here.
Oh, this looks really cool if, when done correctly.
Hopefully we can do it. They seem to be pretty high up. Let's see. Yeah. Too high up.
Did he go into the Astro?
Yeah, he went back into the sitting room.
Oh, jeez.
It's fine.
Oh. Oh, never mind. I thought he went to the other room.
Oh, the sealed room?
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily they can't go in there. If they could go in there, that's something I would not even attempt. All right, so we're coming up to the hyped up Van Gore fight.
That EGAD just really likes to talk about. Luckily, we haven't gotten, I think we only gotten it once, right?
Yeah, which is good.
It's just RNG whether you get that or not. Van Gore just paints these paintings and then they come to life.
Yeah, so Van Gore is the source for all of these ghosts that have been appearing around the mansion. So once we defeat this guy, then none of the ghosts will spawn.
So they're just going to spawn each of these ghosts in 3s. So obviously he's going to try and get a triple on each one. That was a good one. Doing these triples, it makes it a lot easier to be able to do these triples since you're able to like kind of affect them during their spawning animation, like when he was able to suck up the Shy Guy's mask during them spawning still.
Yep.
Still was pretty useful.
And these ghosts here just have 0 HP, so it's faster to just burn them rather than sucking them up.
Yeah. And then for some reason he painted a key.
Yep.
So like maybe he was trying to help us all along.
Yep, so now we just get this last boo and then go to the final boss.
Oh. time. So what he just did there was, so he didn't have to watch the little boo cutscene that he just watched there in the hallway. If you can like kind of time it so that you enter the next room that he's about to enter before he does, kind of, you're able to just not have to watch that cutscene.
I tried to get the gold diamond save word, but we just barely missed it.
Oh.
Guess it's better than that gold diamond clipping out of bounds, so we can't grab it.
Which is possible. So we're just going to warp down to the first floor and then go back down to where the King Boo door is and fight him.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to finish up with an early 113 here. It's not bad.
It's a pretty good time. There's also like a few extra like some safety money in this room here, so not sure. Yeah, we don't need it. We had a bunch of pearl dupes. So the King Boo fight is a little intricate. Similar to Chauncey, when King Boo is down to a certain percent, the attacks change. So when King Boo goes down to under 200% or 200 HP, it'll do a lot longer attack when King Boo goes back into Bowser. So what he's going to try and do here is trying to get a 2-cycle on King Boo, get him to right above 200 or right at 200, and then get that extra cycle, or like get him on that second cycle.
Yep.
It's a little tedious.
So we are coming up on time in about a minute, so I'll just call time when the run is complete.
So he's gonna hide behind this pillar. He's gonna do the same as fire breath move, and then he's gonna throw the spikes at him, and he's gonna want to get one of the spikes and then throw it at Bowser's face when he lunges down.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hit him from the side there because there is an invisible wall in front of him. So if you hit the invisible wall, you just won't hit Bowser at all. So you kind of have to hit him at an angle there.
And using that strat that he used on most of the boos, using the L and R, he can do that on King Boo, so makes it doing the 2-cycle a lot easier.
Okay, let's see if we can finish this up here. And time. Okay, so now we have to count the money to see if the run is 100%. We're not done yet.
If there's any donations while we get up to the money counting, it's a good time to read some.
Well, right now we don't have any, but would sure be nice before we start the Glitz exhibition that we reach the $500 point. So come on, everyone. It's time to get those donations in.
So what's your favorite area to do in 100%?
Probably area 4. While it is very intricate, I do like a good challenge.
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of like 1 and 2 are kind of so subpar, and then 3 is very known for how trolly it is.
Yeah.
4 is it's fun, lots to go on.
Yeah, area 1's just too short, and I'm always doing it.
Yeah.
Just for me to enjoy it.
Also, just a little fun fact about these portraits. That's depending on what rank you get the portraits, they'll be like gold, silver, or bronze.
Yep. All right, here we go. We're shooting for 100 million or more. Nice. So that was 101.4. It's pretty good. Especially with those dukes, it allowed me to skip a couple more gems. So now we'll just watch this cutscene of Mario being turned back.
Because this works somehow.
Yeah. Then I guess we'll watch the credits and then we'll do the glitch exhibition. Maybe 6 or 7 minutes. Not that long.
Luigi said it's shedding a tear of joy.
Yeah.
It's always nice. It's a good cutscene.
His nightmare's over, at least until the next run.
Are you hyped for Luigi's Mansion 3?
Oh yeah,
Super hype.
excited.
Quite the banger
Yeah.
credits, I'd say.
Yeah, I love this music. About 2 minutes.
Do you have any shout outs you want to do?
Just shout outs to the whole Luigi's Mansion community. I know that they were hyping this up a little bit. And if this run has sparked your interest at all, consider joining the Luigi's Mansion Discord. Go on speedrun.com/LM, go to the forum posts and join the Discord. And I also have a any percent no out of bounds tutorial on my YouTube, so you can check that out. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask and we'd be glad to help.
Yeah, the community is it just keeps growing, like speedrunning is, and from where I used to be, I used to speedrun this game back in like 2013, and now seeing where it's at now is actually crazy. So.
Yeah, RDA is one of the original runners of this game. He probably ran this when there were like 15, 20 runs on the board.
Yeah, went back when it was Google Docs.
Yeah, the Google Doc days.
Good time, good times.
So we're just wrapping up the credits here, and then we'll see the house that Luigi gets from all the money that we collected.
Yeah, depending on how much you get a certain size of a house at the end and a certain rank. Obviously, since we 100%, we got over 100 million. We're gonna get the highest rank, the biggest house. It's a pretty nice house.
There it is.
Bam. What a beaut.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind living there,
For real.
but I don't know. The grounds might still be haunted.
I mean, there is a whole 3 Luigi's Mansion games, so.
True. All right, so that's done. Now I guess we'll jump into the glitch exhibition.
So, by the way, I know next to nothing about most glitches in this game. So.
And I always play on a monitor, not a CRT, and I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I'm not too confident in myself that I'll pull all these glitches off that I'm going to show, just due to the input lag. We'll see. We'll see.
Or lack thereof in this case.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to align this ball. Then I'm going to walk out here, walk back inside so I can try to clip behind this chest. There we go. We are out of bounds. So we call this floor 1.5. We're on floor 2, but the textures of floor 1 are loaded in. So yeah, floor 1.5.
So basically what he's doing right here also is this is like what you would do after beating Chauncey in any percent OOB. This was found 2014, 2015, I think.
Yep.
By Sockfolder. Is that who found it?
Yeah, it was. No, it was.
Or was it
Clyde Storm, but Sockfolder optimized it.
Yeah. But basically, he's like getting hit by these bats to skew, is what it's called, and he's able to just continue walking over this on floor 1.5. If he wasn't getting these skews correctly, and if he's not being very precise, he just falls into floor 2 and he's stuck in there.
Yep.
But doing all these right for that.
Okay, so I'm going to try to clip into King Boo's altar here. Keep in mind, I have not done anything. I've only completed area 1, so areas 2, 3, and 4 have not been completed. So I'm going to try to glitch my way into King Boo's altar here. Just like that. There we go. So then we can just do the fight as normal and skip just 50 minutes of the game. This is what we do in the any percent category.
It's very broken.
Yep, that category is world record's 828.
That was very. It was a very exciting time to be alive when finding out about that. About that glitch.
For
I
sure.
remember all the Skype calls. Yes, Skype was a thing.
That just started a new era
Yeah.
of speedrunning for this game. It was huge. I'm glad I got that first try too. That is not easy.
Yeah, you didn't even blink. That's not easy at all. It's very, very difficult.
All right, this strat that I'm fixing to do here, this was previously thought to be only task viable. Shout outs to the official SCSI for optimizing this. And then it was found that, so this trick is called door skip, basically. So usually I would go through this door here and there would be an animation of Luigi walking through the door for about 7 seconds before he finally opens it. And the official SCSI worked hard to make this task-only strat RTA viable. And he finally did, but there was actually found that if you use your vacuum when going for this, then Luigi will not open the door and you can get it. It's free. So yeah, that's door skip. Let's see, I guess I can try to clip into sealed room.
I believe there's another OOB in a buff Bagwell's, right?
Biff Atlas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just mixed two ghosts together, but I'm pretty sure there's an OOB in there, right?
Yeah, you can clip in there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Super unuseful though.
Oh, well, I did not clip in there, but I clipped to the basement. Alright, so I guess I'll show off Bogmire early.
Is that using Bogmire key RT?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know about this. It just takes one room, one little aspect of a room to make that game so broken. It's crazy.
Yeah, so this is the only way to get out of bounds. There's just one way. And then you can actually clip back inbounds by getting scared by a ghost. It'll either drop Luigi below one floor or he'll just spawn on floor 2. So we're gonna go into the kitchen here. Hopefully we don't fall through the floor. Oh yeah, we fell. That's okay.
Oh, dang.
We'll try it one more time.
And normally in 90% OOB, I'm pretty sure you can just walk right to the back of the treasure chest, right? Instead of having to get the ball.
Yeah.
Because of like the iframes or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so you can just walk behind the chest before it even completely spawns in.
Yeah. Because you and the treasure chest are both spawning into the room at the same
Right.
or around the same time. So.
Dang. There's really nothing you can do about this. It's just random on whether or not you fall through the floor. I'll give it one more go. And if not, we'll go
Just
ahead.
one more run. Just one more run.
Just one more.
Just one more. Then we'll wrap things up.
Come on, Iron Jesus.
Ooh, thank God. All right, so now I'm going to try to get a skew with these frying pans. We got it, so now we can just clip down. Then we can fight the dog as normal, and then we can just go fight Bogmire without having to do any of Area 2.
I didn't know that existed, so. And none of this is like is like compromised or anything. I guess that plant doesn't spawn.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess that plant does not spawn until you enter Area 2. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else to say?
No, I mean, thanks for letting me commentate. I had fun. I learned some stuff. Shout outs to NoReset. You guys rock.
Yep. Thank you guys.
All right, well, let's hear it one more time for HDlax with his Luigi's Mansion 100% run and his Lich exhibition. HDlax, was a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you.
Let's just say that I was hearing a lot of people talk about any percent, how you don't really play the game. So I was really glad to see 100% so we could see it inside out in such a short amount of time. How was your experience?
It was nice.
All in all.
It was nice. I enjoyed it. Glad y'all could have me on. I really enjoyed it. So thank you.
All right. Well, the pleasure was all ours. So we're going to move on to the Half-Life run coming up next. We're just going to do a quick setup, and we'll be right back. So stay tuned, everyone.